Good day, beloveds. How do you do? Welcome to Talks from the Heart with Manda, brought to you by Agape Wellness Coaching, a place where being begins to truth. I am Manda, a spirituality teacher and transformational relationship coach, as well as founder of Agape Wellness Coaching, and I'll be journeying with you. Only this time, we're talking heart to heart. Welcome once again, everyone. I'm your host, Mender, still journeying with you. Only this time, we're talking heart to heart. I am happy to be introducing to you Talks from the Heart with Mender. This is the weekly segment that we had promised on our old platform as we journey together with Agape Wellness Coaching Center. We simply could not launch it on that platform due to the structure we had created from the inception of the show. But we are here. We decided to take this route. Besides, it's a brand new season and a new path. And this brand new season and path presented us with its call and reason. And we could not help but joyfully answer the call by letting go of the old, embracing this new season and venturing into the path that keeps unfolding before us with all that it holds and brings to us. So, hey, we are here. We hope to still serve and support you with love, integrity, and giving fully of ourselves as we answer the beckonings of this new path and season. I know for most of you, this comes as a surprise, just as it has been for me. And for the first time, I have not planned anything. It is just something that I'm going to allow myself to go with the flow of what the season and the path brings. I believe that I'll be led by the Holy Spirit. I believe that there is a reason for my answering this very call. And I'm hoping that you will benefit from this as much as I intend to be of service to my listeners and my clients. So, hey, I am hoping for this to be a lot more interactive than the previous show. I'm hoping for it to be a lot more interactive with the audience and perhaps guests in the near future. Hey, enough of this talking. I'm just going to let the flow run through me, the flow of the Holy Spirit run through me as I serve my audience, as I serve my clients. And I'm hoping that you will again reap the benefits of what I'm sent to do. This is not just about me, it's about you. Remember, I've always said these platforms are not my platforms, but our platforms, right? So today's episode really is going to be an introductory episode wherein we will gloss over the concepts of our primary focus. And you may be sitting there still wondering, what is the focus of Talks from the Heart with Mender? Well, as I'd already mentioned when we announced that we would be launching a weekly segment, I mentioned that we will be focusing on spiritual and psychological wellness in relationships. We will be focusing on spiritual and psychological wellness. And I'm hoping again that this will be of benefit to you. We're merely glossing over the concepts. We're not going to go in depth. It's merely an introductory episode. So as we gloss over the concepts, we will then expound on them at a later date. We will then discuss in depth about spirituality, spiritual wellness, and psychological well-being in relationships. All these things that are encompassed in the focus. Again, I hope that you are going to enjoy this and benefit from it, right? So, as a listener right now, listening to the show, what do you think wellness is? We hear a lot of people talking about wellness this, wellness that. Most people never hear of wellness as a concept on its own, as a standalone concept out there existing without the many anchors. A lot of times we're hearing about wellness. We hear about wellness, financial wellness, nutritional wellness, physical wellness, psychological wellness, spiritual wellness. And these areas, the anchors that are attached to the concept of wellness. So please take a moment, pause. What is wellness? What do you think wellness is? What do you believe wellness to be? And how much does wellness mean to you as a person? Leave me a comment in the comment section below or send me your comment through our contact page at www.agapewellness-center.com. The center is spelled CENTRE, center.com. Go on, leave me a comment and let's get talking, really. Let's talk heart to heart. What is wellness? What do you think wellness is? Well, I'm going to share my little definition of what I believe wellness to be, what I know wellness to be. It is not a very complex concept. Wellness is simply our state of being that occurs when an individual awakens to the understanding that all facets of their life, all facets of their being are important, interdependent, and can impact each other at any given moment. At any given time, these facets can impact each other. And one such individual achieves the state of being through consistent and intentional effort to integrate body, mind, and spirit completely and harmoniously to achieve the necessary balance that'll help foster holistic well-being. That is what wellness is. Again, wellness is our state of being that occurs when an individual awakens to the understanding that all facets of their being are important, interdependent, and can impact each other at any given time. This one such individual will achieve the state of being through consistent and intentional effort to integrate body, mind, and spirit completely and harmoniously to achieve the necessary balance that'll help foster holistic well-being. That's all there is to this. And another point to note, though, is that this state of being is not static. The state of being is not static. Once one has attained the state of being, one needs to remain in consistent and intentional pursuit of wellness to maintain the quality of the state. It can be maintained through the practice of habits that will better serve them to achieve holistic wellness and well-being. That is all that there is to wellness. And remember, we've got various facets of our being. Various facets to our beings. So do not think, oh, spiritual wellness and psychological wellness are greater than all the others. No, they're not. They're just as important as the others. So you cannot neglect one to take care of the other. And we tend to do that. Most times we tend to nurture aspects that manifest the tangibles and we neglect what is intangible. Right. So we tend to do that. But anyway, I'm not going to go in depth. I'm just glossing over the concepts. Right. So yes, we are now moving on to spirituality. What do you think spirituality is? What does spirituality mean to you? Again, to understand spiritual wellness and achieve it, one must understand what spirituality is. And spirituality is one of those much debated concepts where people often confuse spirituality with religion. But that need not be the case. Trust me, I was one of those people confusing spirituality with religion. A tale for another day. But we are moving on, and I'm not going to dwell on it until I have to tell it some other time, right? Yeah, what is spirituality, by the way? What is spirituality? Again, like with wellness, leave me a comment in the comment section below or go to our website and leave me your comment. What do you think spirituality is? And you probably have heard different definitions of what spirituality is. But again, it's not a very complex concept. What spirituality is, by the way, and this is according to me, my teachers, the Holy Spirit, and those who came before me. I know we all experience spirituality differently, and that is how we get different definitions of what spirituality is. And I'm going to share what I believe spirituality to be, or what I think spirituality is, or what I know spirituality is. I don't even know how to explain it to you, but spirituality, again, is merely our state of being conscious to our connectedness to the divine, self, others, and our environments. This is nature included, by the way. Our conscious awareness of our connectedness to all that was, is, and forever shall be is what spirituality is. And this consciousness is sparked by our inner man's longing for home, our inner man's longing to know and express itself, the hunger to exercise our spirit man's divine nature through one's life purpose is what brings us to the awareness of our connectedness to the divine self and others. Our connectedness to the greater whole is sometimes an unconscious connectedness. We walk around thinking that we are individuals existing on this plane without consciously being aware of our connectedness to the greater whole. And that's when things go wrong for us, because then in that fashion, the spirit man cannot fully exercise his or her divine nature. So when one becomes awakened to their connectedness to all that is, was, and forever shall be, that person becomes what we call spiritually awake in the realms of spirituality, where people are practicing as, gurus in this realm, in this physical realm. People say you become spiritually awakened, simply meaning that you are consciously aware of your connectedness to the greater whole. Remember that we are created in the likeness of God, meaning that our beings are godlike and cannot be perpetually suppressed, but expressed through conscious connectedness to all that was, is, and forever will be in creation and creativity. That is all that there is. The minute one becomes spiritually awakened or consciously aware of their connectedness to the divine self and others, this being is able to then express their divine nature without hindrance. All right. So remember that. That is all that there is to spirituality. It's not a very difficult concept. It's just simply your state of being. That is your posture, your natural posture, by the way, where you let the inner man, the spirit man, the part of you that is connected to the whole, the part of you that is connected to source, the part of you that is in its nature the source. When you let that part of you take the driver's seat, because remember that part of you, it is who entered a cosmic agreement with God, that I'm going down there to express myself, to exercise myself in manner A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But when we reach this physical plane, we have forgotten about our cosmic contract. We come here and become something else based off of what our environments are telling us. And the minute one becomes consciously connected, meaning they remember who they are spiritually, and now they allow the inner man to remember their cosmic agreements, the purpose of their being here, and what it is they need to be doing here, right? And again, it's not even about doing, it's just about being, exercising and expressing oneself, allowing God to experience himself or herself, depending on what you believe is about God, allowing God to live himself, herself in and through you. That's all. This is merely a vehicle. You are a fragment of God here on earth for expression, for exercising his expression and experience, personal experience. So allow that divine nature of yours to, flow and do whatever it is that it's here for. It's all about being, really, not so much about doing, but it is, again, a topic for another day. And I'm hoping that you are looking forward to us having those discussions. Now, we are going to move on to psychological or mental wellness. Again, this is another concept that is floating around the space, the internet space, And even in wellness offices and clinics, everybody's talking about psychological, mental wellness and whatever. And this is a very, interesting time as it follows, something that happened recently that had us all on our toes. And a lot of people have been, affected mentally, psychologically, shocked. And it has been one of those things that now everybody is now addressing issues. It used to be taboo, by the way, to discuss psychological wellness or mental issues. It used to be one of those things that we didn't want to touch, especially in our African communities. We never wanted to touch, anything to do with mental wellness. In fact, if it's found out that one of your family members are suffering from mental illness, back then you wouldn't be married. Nobody would even come close to your home. But hey, now it's a different time. People are openly addressing psychological and mental wellness. And I hope we're able to do much. But what is psychological and mental wellness? What is psychological or mental wellness? What is it? What do you think is psychological or mental wellness? Again, I'm not going to go on and on. I'm just going to quickly gloss over it. Mental wellness, by the way, speaks to our state of our psychological well-being. This would involve how we think, act, feel, and function under varied circumstances, how the variation of circumstances and fluctuation of emotions affect how we function and relate to self, the divine, others, and our environments in our reactions or response to change. That's all there is to this. See, it's not so complex. These are just concepts that we try to make very difficult, but they're not that complex, are they? I don't think they are. What do you think? And again, leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let's get talking. Heart to heart. Let's keep these discussions alive. And we will be having these discussions on a regular basis. Every week on Friday, we will be discussing matters that relate to spiritual and psychological wellness. We want to discuss these things and how they affect our relationships. Now, when I announced that I'd be launching a weekly segment that would be focusing on spiritual and psychological wellness in relationships, I got a question. Why focus on spiritual and psychological wellness? It could be just about anything that, there are many focus areas you can, as a wellness practitioner, you can go on and focus on other things. Well, I will tell you this. I know what it is to suffer alone in silence without support. And during and post pandemic, we've seen a lot of people coming out, expressing and sharing their suffering, their spiritual awakening journey and recovery, both spiritually and psychologically. And this follows an experience, a universal experience that changed how we see the world and function in it. Some people are still stuck in that place of crisis, and some are still suffering in silence. Some are yet to come to a place where they can identify the source of their suffering. And again, I'm going to say this disclaimer, please. Note that this does not mean that these problems did not exist pre-pandemic. They have always been there from the beginning of time, but when the world came to a standstill, humanity was forced to take a pause, a moment away from the mundane, and come to a place of encountering themselves, the divine, and others within their environments in stillness. Something that has not happened for a long time for other people. And for other people, it's something that has never happened pre-pandemic. A lot of people have never experienced stillness unless forced. One can only imagine how most people were affected as their worlds were set in disarray. Again, I say that this is not that these problems did not exist in their lives before, but they happened to be of lesser importance as they prioritized routine in place of what is great or is of greater importance. Seeing how most of our clients and other people out there are still affected both spiritually and psychologically is the reason why I do what I do. I know what it is to suffer without support. And of course, I've had support every other time, but there was a time where I was away from my home country, and I had nobody but my mum on the other end of the phone. And when I didn't have my mum, I had my grandma on the other side of the phone. But when I hang up, I'm in my little corner alone to face some of these things. And having been without support, I can only imagine what the next person is going through without support. That's why I do what I do. That's why I'm extending my hand to journey with you through your journey. It can be you reaching out to us at www.agapewellness-center.com, or you can listen to the podcast and glean whatever it is that you want to glean from this and get the support that you need. At least there is somebody out there saying, hey, I'm here to journey with you. Now, how will Talks from the Heart with Manda benefit the listener and client out there? Well, we have seen experts assess the benefits of spiritual wellness on both psychological and physical wellness. Now, Talks from the Heart with Manda is brought to our clients and audience with the aim to promote spiritual wellness and psychological well-being, and most importantly, to make people aware that wellness is a choice and that they are responsible for their wellness and well-being. Spiritual wellness practices and rituals can help with management of stress, anxiety, and depression, as well as other mental illnesses. However, I do advise that people get support of a licensed practitioner, a professional who is equipped to support them on their journey as they try to manage whatever unease that they may be experiencing. Okay? Also, one can improve their relations with the self, divine, others, and their environments with spiritual and psychological wellness. Personal growth is one of the benefits. The minute one becomes conscious and intentional about their pursuit of wellness, spiritual, psychological wellness, or wellness in any aspect of their lives, there is no way personal growth will not follow their pursuit, will not be brought forth from their pursuit, intentional and conscious pursuit of this wellness. Your wellness journey will bear fruit, and personal growth is one of the fruit. Self-acceptance and acceptance of others. The minute you become self-accepting, you also become aware of other people and how they come to be who they are and express themselves in the way they're expressing themselves. So you become less judgmental of others and more accepting of them, just as you come to a place of accepting yourself as you are, being who you are, expressing yourself the way that you express yourself. And most importantly, the minute you become self-aware and self-accepting, a lot of things change for you. You're no longer being the person that goes around saying, I'm just the way that I am. That's just how I am. In fact, you grow and you transform, because then you're operating from a different place of being. You're no longer operating from a place of, this ticked me off. You're no longer reactionary in your way of being. You, in fact, take a moment to process all that there is, and you feel your emotions for what they truly are, and you see circumstances and events as they are and what they are presenting to you, instead of them being a threat or things that are meant to be disturbing of you. You don't assign meaning to things without first understanding what it is they're presenting to you, or what they truly are to your space and to who you are at that very moment. Because remember, and I'm saying who you are at that very moment is because your expression as a being may vary from moment to moment. It's not that who you are really changes, but the expression of your being may be affected by circumstances and expressions. And sometimes when you're not really being your true self, you find that when events present themselves to you, you just tend to react fearfully, you tend to assign meaning to those events because they are really exposing you or really exposing your expression as merely a facade instead of you being your true self. But again, that's a topic for another day. It's just me glossing over the concepts. And again, the benefits are endless. You will learn more as we go on journeying together, talking heart to heart. Now, what is my hope for this segment? I hope this segment will benefit you. And again, I hope that it will be more interactive, having guests come on over to the show. And most importantly, interaction with you, my audience. I cannot be talking alone forever, right? I am sharing and imparting stuff that I've learned, stuff that I've been practicing. But I would also want to have you share with me. I believe that I can learn a lot from you, my audience, and I appreciate whatever comments that you bring to me, whatever topic suggestions that you bring to me. I appreciate those. I appreciate every moment you are sending me suggestions. I appreciate every moment you're sending me your comments and correcting me when I'm wrong. I appreciate that. I learn a lot from that. And I hope that this will continue with this very segment. Now, we have reached the end of today's episode, and we will be talking again heart to heart next Friday. We are yet to agree on the topic of next Friday, so I'm not going to announce the topic for next Friday. We will see what we are going to talk about as I presented to you midweek. I am very excited for this new season. I'm very excited for this new path, and I'm hoping that you continue to journey with me as we talk heart to heart. Lest I forget, we're also available on social media. It's Instagram at Agape Wellness Coaching. On Twitter, we are Agape Wellness CC. Now remember, Talks from the Heart is available to you on the various platforms such as Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and the rest of them. We're also available to you on our website at www.agapewellness-center.com. We are available to you as an extended helping hand, ready to help serve and support you on your journey. Being begins at root, and we believe that you truly are awesome when you're being your authentic self from the root of who you are. Go on, visit us on our website. You can subscribe to our content, like, follow, share, whatever it is that they do on those platforms. Go on and do it. We love you and we appreciate your support. What am I to say? Except this is it. I'm your host, Manda, signing out until the next episode. Shalom.